Welcome back to Hard Knot Life Sailing. While we enjoy this beautiful anchorage at Olathe River State Park, we're going to take advantage of this peaceful place to finish installing our water maker, since we are out of water and no place allowing us to fill up without a membership. Now I'm tapping in the product water to our freshwater tanks. I ran one here, see how it goes. I used a tap set, and instead of just using Teflon tape, I used JB Weld, so that actually helps support the fitting that's on there. It's an 8mm push fitting that threads into it, but it's only a very small amount of stainless steel there, so I used JB Weld to stiffen that up and help seal it, but it'll help stiffen it up so it can't wiggle loose over time. And then over here, let's get some light on. And I'm going to start feeding the wire. That's the wire there. And bringing that over to this side, where I've got a splitter to decide which tank it's going to go to. In the front of the boat, we have 3 tanks. We have 1 tank in the middle that everything feeds off of, and 2 large tanks on either side, which is really nice because right now our boat's listing a little bit to starboard. So by having this option, if the boat's a little heavier on the starboard side, we can put water on our port side and level the boat out. So what I did down here is had to get more hose. It's fun going to Home Depot when you're living on a boat and have to find somewhere to get to by dinghy. So today we had to take a break and go to Home Depot, which is a bit of a boat ride and then a bit of a walk, because this equipment doesn't come with really everything you need. It says it has an installation kit, but we needed like fittings, couplings to go in between shutoffs and splitters. Definitely didn't have enough of this line. This is supposed to be 8mm. I'm using 5/16. It's very, very close. It just feels like it's a hair smaller, but it still makes a seal. That's going to be running to our tanks, and I drilled a hole through here so that this will fit inside, and I'll secure this onto the beam. This is where we decide where our water comes from. So this way everything's in the same location. We can choose feeding from starboard port or aft tanks, and now with this device we can decide which tank gets filled from the water maker. So I'm going to continue on here and give you some updates. Here I am attaching all the water lines that will be running from the water maker to our water tanks and installing the 3-way valve that splits the water so I can decide which tank I would like to fill with it. So I did a time lapse of installing this, and while adjusting the camera, it stopped recording. But I tapped that in, and then same thing, I used some JB Weld and just ran the hose down here to where I've got that resting. Now I'm just making the final touches of installing the 3-way valve and a bracket system so it's sturdy and won't move. This part of the kit allows us to turn on or off the water supply, as well as to switch the intake to a brine solution for long-term storage when not in use. Now that the fittings are orientated to work for our specific situation, they must be secured properly to the through hulls. Keep in mind this is all below the waterline, so be sure to follow directions carefully if you are to do this yourself. Once the water lines are all fed through the boat and the pre-filter and charcoal filter is installed, it's now time to connect to the pressurized fresh water system for the auto flush. To work properly, the water has to pass through a charcoal filter to clear away any bleach that may be present if you use it in your tanks, which can be harmful to the RO membranes. If you would like to see the previous 2 videos showing the installation from the start, please follow the link in the description. So my next step now is I'm going to hook up the freshwater supply that goes to the RO for the auto flush. It takes water from our pressurized system and pumps it through a carbon filter and then through the whole system to clean it out once a week. Not sure how this video is going to turn out, to be honest, because I did a couple time lapses that started recording and then stopped after a few seconds. Mary found a weird setting on there. We don't know what it is. Somebody else who uses GoPro 9, maybe you can comment below how this is happening, but I did a few connections with the time lapse and there's 2 seconds of it showed up before I even got in front of the camera, and without even touching it stopped recording. So I don't know how much is all going to be shown there, but what I'm going to do next is connect into my freshwater system there. There's our pump and our pressure tank, and then going to bring that through here to the shop where the RO system is. Alright, you can scratch that last video of feeding the water line for the intake for the auto flush through the boat, because as I was finding out which under the sink to connect that to, I followed another one that came all the way back through here, and right beside the water maker is our deck wash, which the saltwater side's never been functional and we never had enough water to actually use this, so I can tap right into here. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to tap into that and have water with only a few feet of hose. Got the generator running now and I'm going to test the system out. So it's very noisy, but I need to run the generator. I got our lever here switched to seawater, not to pickle, which is putting a solution through the filter to keep sea life from growing on it. Clamp it down here, and we're going to take a look here. So that's been first. That's plugged in. Powering up. Water's filling up there. Water is immediately going out of the drain overboard. What I'm doing right now is waiting for all these air bubbles to stop coming through here. And that means that the filters are full of water and I'm not going to be pushing air through it. Starting to get some water coming out of here. And I got to do that until that turns green. Working. not getting a reading on the flow though. All these wires still have to get tidied up. I want to make sure everything's working first. Make sure there's no leaks. So far, so good. Alright, I'll keep you updated. A quick update. I emailed the manufacturer because the gauge is not moving. I took the cover off and I inverted it, and that gauge is still not moving. It's making water though. Everything seems to be working fine. You can see we've already gone up almost to the top of reserve, and that was completely empty 20 minutes ago. So, success. Now I can start cleaning up this mess. And make this look like a boat again. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends. I hope the video helped you learn something, or just to watch my experience with hooking up a water maker. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.